let's talk about the context to this in the pro wrestling world, because this is where we think everything's a work. Even if it's a real injury, it's a work, or it doesn't look so ugly that it's a real injury, like the way he did the backflip that we're going to talk about, lands on his feet and acts like he popped his knee out. The problem is he's not a babyface. He's a heel. He has the Money in the Bank and obviously a storyline where he's going over on just about everybody. So my guess would have been he is going to beat LA Knight. Also, it was so apparent that it was off for the finish. Like even LA Knight's look was just like, there was that half look of concern as he's looking at Seth Rollins, who's a heel, a hated heel. Then there's the fan cam footage afterwards of them helping him to the back. And Paul, you want this guy to be hated. Why are you putting sympathy on him? That's where my antennas go up, that it's not a work. So do you feel the same way before we get into it?
Yeah, well, the only person who said it might be a work was Dave Meltzer. So there you
go. But he gave this match 8 stars to counter the Mox. No, he'd never do that.
No, it wasn't AEW. It wasn't in the Egg Dome. So
the moonsault, but he lands on his feet. Did you notice the first part of this when he landed?
Yeah, there's a tiny bit of a wobble, isn't there? Yeah.
No, it's like his leg was underneath him. His knee was underneath him. Slow-mo. That. Now he sells the right knee. You would think it's the left leg right here. But I think it's this. As he slow-mos it. Look, see it?
Mm.
The leg buckles here. So he's trying to get to his feet. He's on his toe, and his leg buckles in there. So I think this is a 2-part injury. See that little knee buckle on the inside? At first, I thought this knee might be hurt. See how he lands like that? But as he gets up, and there is a little bit of a wobble. I just think he might have had it tweaked, and it's an MCL injury, isn't it?
Has it been announced yet?
I might have heard MCL, because the MCL, I believe, is on the inside.
In fact, I've got an injury update right here. So, updates are available on Seth Rollins' injury. Brian Alvarez reports this. Seth is injured, appears to be serious. The last 40 minutes of the show were changed on the fly, and there was something that was supposed to happen later that didn't as a result of the injury. In storyline, Seth has until next June to cash in, so even with surgery and long-term recovery, that isn't an update. Just says it was legitimate. Dave Meltzer responds, someone who I 100% trust told me, Dave, don't go so strong on the idea that it's real at all, because they pretty much heard about it on Thursday. So I don't know. I mean, everybody thinks that it's real. I don't want to say more. Everyone's going with the idea it's real. It's only one person who told me that it wasn't, but it was someone to warn me. But who the hell knows? Well, I mean, it seems pretty real to me, but we'll see, obviously. But this isn't... We've watched the first part of it. Let's see the second part of it and see where the actual...
No.
Does that look a bit silly, do you think?
It does, but if it's real, that first senton or swanton where his knee buckled in the inside could have been the initial injury. And then when he lands, dude, the impact actually pops the knee. If it's real. That's what I mean. If you go back to this is the important one. That right there, buckle right there, and a little bit of a wobble. And then we'll take it slow.
We do have another angle of this later on in the video as well.
Worked with this, but if I didn't see that first buckle, I would believe it's an absolute work. But then I'm like, what are you working towards? He's not, and reenacts the Bret Hart heel run where he gets super kicked out of the wheelchair. But this looks... Also rolling to the outside and going right to Paul. What do you think about that?
It was interesting. He was sat in the corner for like 2 minutes. Did it go through a commercial?
I'm not sure, but he was there forever. And then obviously the finish happens, and then it's just literally the look LA Knight gives him after the finish. And I have another angle here. I have fan cam that shows the right here. So he basically does this, Then let's see how he comes out. He's still stumbling. He's kind of dragging that right leg. Did you see that?
Yeah, you can play this all the way through if it's found cam.
Even the bump.
Because
this is it.
Yeah, even Ed Begley Jr. wanders up to check on him.
There is confusion there with LA Knight. But I want to tell you this. If Seth Rollins, just the way he sold us, Seth Rollins would bounce on the BFT and then he has a way of putting himself in position to get pinned. Watch this. He just flattens out and lays there. Doesn't even sell. See? It's like just he puts himself down in a push-up position. And that's it. And then I'm just looking. It's like that. LA Knight's not overexcited about winning either.
No, he gets out there really quickly, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Sort of reminds
me
of
this
the fact that
this is a heel.
Probably real.
This guy's a heel, one of the top heels in the company. But you want to do all this and show all this and get him sympathy. If you're working, then it doesn't make a bit of sense to me. Is this the same knee he injured when he did the flipping powerbomb out of the corner on the international show way back? Remember he blew his knee out against Kane?
I know for a fact he's had a history of knee issues that have kept him out for a long time, so I don't know which knee it was.
I think that was the right knee.
It's not without precedent.
I think it was the right knee with Kane, and it was an international show. He did the sunset flip out of the corner when Kane was on top of him, where he flipped over and tried to powerbomb through a table, and his right knee, I believe, was the right knee that buckled on that.
So what are you leaning towards then? Definitely real? It looks pretty real.
I'm leaning towards real because of the swanton, I think, is what initially buckled the knee and hurt the inside of the knee, it looked like. And then when he did the flip and landed on his feet, it popped the knee out.
So only time will tell.
But if you're working us, what's your end game if you're working us?
Well, the thing is like, why would you take Seth Rollins away from that group as well? Because I was saying beforehand, not on this show, so I don't like that group at all. I don't think, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins makes that much sense at all as a group. But now you take Seth Rollins out of it. Now Paul Heyman's just managing what is still really now just a mid-card tag team. So you wouldn't do that to Paul as a part of the storyline, unless it's one giant, fake out.
Well, all three guys are over, and Paul's over separately on their own right. Why would you put them together?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I just they don't pass the eye test as a unit for me. Those guys
basically they're AOP 2.0.
Yeah, but they've got some creative.
No, what I'm saying is they're the same presentation as Seth, the leader. Two guys wearing black, big guys in the back wearing black. That's it.